Good morning, students. Okay. Now, in today's class, first we will look grouping midterms general guidelines. Grouping midterms general guidelines. Okay. First one is generally in K-map, side by side cells are adjacent and diagonal cells are not adjacent. Okay. We know three variable K-map. Okay. Here side by side, okay, either vertically or horizontally, those are adjacent. Like M0, M2, side by side, adjacent. M0, M2, adjacent. M2, M6, adjacent. M6, M4, adjacent. Similarly, M0, M1, adjacent. Okay, these are all adjacent. Either horizontally or vertically, side by side cells are adjacent. Diagonal cells M0, M3, not adjacent, not adjacent. Okay, diagonal M7, M4, diagonal. Okay, diagonal cells are not adjacent. Okay, side by side cells either horizontal or vertical, those are adjacent. Second one. Okay, grouping group of cells must be power of 2. Okay, that is okay 2 to the power of 4. Okay, 16 cells. You can combine 16 cells to form a group. Similarly, 2 to the power of 3, 8 cells you can form as a group. 2 square, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0 means single cell. 2 cells, 4 cells. So group of cells, okay, must be power of 2. Group of cells must be power of 2. Okay. See, you can group 16 cells as one group, 8 cells as one group, but you can't go with the grouping of 3 cells, 5 cells, 6 cells like that. Okay. The number of cells in the group should be power of 2. either 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5, 2 to the power of 6, like that. Okay. That is 2 to the power of 4, 16 cells, 2 to the power of 3, 8 cells, so on. And minimum group is 1 cell. With 1 cell you can form a group, minimum. Okay, maximum 2 to the power of whatever the number you can take. Okay, third one. And always we need to form the grouping in decreasing order. Okay. Grouping has to be carried on in decreasing order. It means first, if you want to form a group of cells, first you have to look for the 2 to the power of highest number of cells. You have to look for the highest number of cells. Okay, 2 to the power of 4, 16 cells. 2 to the power of 3, 8 cells. If 8 cells you are unable to form the grouping, then look for the 4 cells. With 4 cells also you are unable to form the grouping, look for the 2 cells. With 2 cells also you are unable to form the grouping, look for single cell. Okay, so in this way you have to group the cells. First we have to look for the grouping of as many cells as possible. Okay, first look for the 16 cells or 32, 64, like that. Okay, if not possible, then decrease the size 16 to 8. If 8 cells also not possible grouping, go to 4, then go to 2, like that, decreasing order. Okay. Next, fourth point. Fourth point is the same elements may repeat in multiple groups. Same elements may repeat in multiple groups only if it increases the size of the group. Okay. Now we will see. Okay, this is 3 variable K-map. Okay, we have the minterms like this, X, Y, Z. Okay, now you have to look for first as many cells as possible. Okay, for the grouping, these 4 cells you can form a grouping because these 4 are adjacent to each other. You can check with the adjacency rule. So this is one group, G1, and these 2 you can form one group, G2. Okay, but this is not good choice. Not good choice. Okay, this is one group. Okay. Okay, if you take the help of above 2 minterms, these 2 minterms, okay, you can form one large group. Okay, you can form 4 cells as a group. instead of two cells as a group, if you take the help of above two minterms, you can form a large group. So the same elements may repeat. These two minterms may repeat in another group if it increases the size of the group. Okay, this is good choice. Okay, if the same elements may repeat in multiple groups if it increases the group size. So this is a good choice compared to this one. Next, last point. Okay, don't care conditions, but as a general guidelines, I am giving here this point. We will discuss this point later in the coming classes. Don't care conditions. Okay, just don't care conditions. Okay, you don't know about the don't care condition. I will explain later, but let me keep this point here. Don't care conditions are to be considered if they increase group size, else neglect. Okay, we will look about this one later. Increase groups, don't care condition. Okay. Okay. Don't care condition will be indicated with X. Okay. See, here we are having three minterms. If you consider this don't care condition, you can form a large group with 4 cells. So here also one don't care condition is there, but we are not grouping it. Okay. Okay, we will discuss this fifth point later, but keep the fifth point here. Okay, these are the grouping minterm general guidelines. Generally, side-by-side cells are adjacent. Diagonal cells are not adjacent. And whenever you try to group, first look for the big group. Big group, 64 cells, 32 cells, 16 cells, 8, 4, 2, 1, like this. You have to look for the grouping big, large number of cells, and you need to look in the decreasing order. You need to look in the decreasing order. Next, same elements may repeat in multiple groups only if it increases the group size. Otherwise, you name. Okay, you should not use those elements. If it increases the group size, you can use. Next, don't care conditions are to be considered if they increase the group size. Okay, these are the general guidelines. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. Next, 4 variable K-map. Okay, 4 variable K-map. W, X, Y, Z. With 4 variables, we will get 2 to the power of 4 minterms. So each minterm indicates a square box. So this 4 variable K-map have 16 square boxes. 2 to the power of 4 nothing but 16. So it is having 16 square boxes. And if you write, the minterms will be presented as W bar, X bar, Y bar, Z bar to W, X, Y, Z. So it is bar will be indicated with 0, variable indicated with 1. So this will be M0 to M15. So total 16 square boxes. So format, divide the variables into two equal parts at the corner Wx, Yz. Order should not be changed, Wx, Yz. Now write the 2-bit gray code. Write the 2-bit gray code. Because we are having two variables on one corner, so you have to write 2-bit gray code. Here also you have to write the 2-bit gray code. Now form the square boxes. Identify each square box belongs to which minterm. This is M0 minterm, M1 minterm, M3, M2, M4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the format. Next, grouping. Grouping minterms. Okay. Whatever the general guidelines I discussed today, those guidelines are based on single statement. What is that single statement? The single statement is cells with adjacency or group of cells with adjacency can be formed as group. Can be formed as a group. Okay. This is the grouping minterms. How to group the minterms? This is the single statement. Along with the single statement, by using the general guidelines, you have to group the minterms. Next, minimization rules. Okay. First one is same as 3-variable K-map. There should be, okay, we should not leave any minterm from the grouping. That is the first rule. Second rule is also same as 2-variable and 3-variable. The second rule is there should be no redundant term. Okay, first rule is tells about do not leave any minterm in from grouping. Second rule is redundant term in the final expression. Okay, third one. Okay, one minterm as group. First two are same for the 2-variable, 3-variable, 4-variable. These first 2 points are same. One minterm as group contain 4 literals. This is the 4-variable K-map, so it contains 4 literals. If you form 2 minterms as group, it contains 3 literals. The expression contains 3 literals. If you form 4 minterms as group, it contains 2 literals. If you form 8 minterms as group, it contains 1 literal. If you combine 16 minterms as group, it is equal to 1. It is equal to 1. Okay, this is about the K 4-variable K map. Now we look for one example. Let us look for one example. Okay. This is the 4 variable K map. It is similar to 2 variable and 3 variable K map explanation. Same explanation here we have done. Okay. Simplify below expression using K map. F is equal to sigma 4, 5, 6, 7, 15. Okay. Here, simplify this expression using K map. Only this question he asked in the examination. How to solve this expression? We don't know which variable K map we need to use. He did not mention use 2 variable or use 3 or use 4 variable. He did not mention anything. But which variable K map we need to use. For that, what you need to do is identify the bigger term in the given min terms. What is the bigger term? 15. 15 is the biggest one. And write down the 15 in binary. Write down 15 in binary. 2, 7. Already I told you to remember this one. Generally it is 1, 1, 1, 1. So to represent 15, we need 4 bits. So it is a 4 variable Boolean expression. So this Boolean expression is having 4 variables. Okay. So the bigger number, look for the bigger number, how many bits it is taking. If it is taking 2 bits, so that is a 2 variable function. If it is taking 3 bits, it is a 3 variable function. If it is taking 4 bits, it is a 4 variable function. Okay. So bigger number 15 can be represented as 1111 base 2. Therefore, above expression is 4 variable. Above expression having 4 variable. Okay, now one problem is solved. So which variable K map we need to use? 4 variable K map we need to use, because the largest number can be represented with 4 ones. Okay. Now, before applying any expression to the K map, the expression should be in standard SOP form. Sigma nothing but standard SOP form itself. Okay. Above expression is in standard SOP form. So apply to K map. Apply to K map. Okay. For applying the K map, okay, wherever the midterms are presented, keep those boxes 1. M4 1, M5 1, M7, M6, M15. M15 1. Okay. Now grouping midterms. Okay. Keep it in mind the general guidelines. By keeping in mind the general guidelines, first you need to look for the bigger group of midterms. How many midterms we are having? Only 5 midterms we are having. We have to look for the bigger midterms group. Okay. See, these 4 midterms have adjacency. You can check it later. Okay. So you can form it as one group, G1. And we have only single variable. Okay. And always we need to look for forming bigger group. Okay. If you take the help of adjacent M7 cell, if you take the help of adjacent M7 cell, you can form a bigger group with two cells. You can form bigger group with two cells. Okay. This is G2. Okay. And how to write the expression for the G1 and G2? Okay. G1 is, look, G1 is having 1, 1, 1, 1. What is here? Wx terms 0, 1. What is the yz terms? Yz terms are, okay, here 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Now, along this complete group, look for the W. W, what is the value of W along the group? It is 0 and constant. W is 0 only. Okay, it is not changing. Now look for the X. X is 1 only for the total group. Next, look for the Y. Y is changing from 0 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 1. So it is changing. The value of Y is changing from 0 to 1. Okay, so we should not write this value in the expression. Next, look for the Z. Z is also changing 0 to 1. See here, 0 to 1. Next, 1 to 1 constant. Next, 1 to 0, changing. So this is also varying along the group. So we should not write this one. And the given expression is, the variable with 0 should write as complement. The variable with 1 you have to write as additive. W bar X. Now look for the G2. G2 is 1, 1, and this is Wx, Yz. What is the Wx values for this group? 0, 1, 1, 1, and Yz values are 1, 1. Now along this group, look for the each variable. W value is changing from 0 to 1. It is changing from 0 to 1, W value. X value is 1 to 1. So it is constant as 1. Y value, Z value also not changing. These are 1. So whichever variable is varying, strike out the term. So G2 is equal to, okay, 1 will be indicated with variable itself. So it is X, Y, Z. So the final expression, F is equal to G1 plus G2. G1 is equal to W bar X. G2 is equal to X, Y, Z. Now look at this start point. Okay, if you are forming 4 minterms as a group, the group expression having only 2 literals. Okay, this is G1 is a group of 4 minterms. So 4 minterms as a group contain 2 literals, W bar X. Next, G2 is having 2 minterms as a group. 2 minterms as a group contain 2 literals. Okay. Okay. This is about the 4 variable K-map grouping. Okay. Now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. First, we need to look for the bigger group. try to look for the bigger group. If there is a possibility, look for 8 minterms as a group. Then look for 4 minterms as a group. Then look for 2. Then look for 1 minterm as a group. Okay. Right. This is about the 4 variable K-map with one example. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will erase this one. Okay. Now we will go with some definitions. We'll go with some definitions. We need to learn about 3 definitions. What is mean by implicant? Next, prime implicant. Next, essential prime implicant. Essential prime implicant. These 3 definitions we will look right now. Implicant nothing but minterm itself. Single minterm we call as implicant. Okay. Single minterm we call as implicant. Okay. For example, this is a 4 variable K-map. Okay. We are having the minterms. So we are having 3 implicants. This is one implicant. This is one implicant. This is one implicant. Okay. 3 implicants. Implicant nothing but minterm itself. Another name for the minterm is implicant. You can imagine like that. 3 implicants we have. Okay. Next, prime implicant. Prime implicant indicates group of maximum number of minterms. Group of maximum number of minterms. Group of maximum number of minterms which cannot be enlarged further. Okay, we will see one example for this prime implicant. Okay, implicant means single term, single minterm. Prime implicant means group of minterms. Okay, group of minterms, but maximum number of minterms. Group of minterms, you can imagine. Implicant means single, prime means group of minterms. Okay, we'll see one example for this one. Take one 4 variable K-map. Okay, now okay, see, you can form these 4 minterms as a group. Okay, G1. You can consider these two can be formed as a group. Okay, for the explanation purpose. G2. These two you can form as a group. G3. Now, see here. Here, in example, G1 is called prime implicant. G2 comma G3 are not prime implicants. The reason is for the G1, there is no choice to increase its size. Okay, with 4 minterms, we formed maximum. Okay, generally we have to look for the grouping of 16 minterm size group, 16 cell size group, 8, after 8, 4, then you have to look for the 2 cells. So we do not have the 8 minterms and we have 6 minterms. So if the 8 is not possible, you have to look for the 4 minterms as a group. So 4 minterms as a group you form. Okay. But look for the G2 and G3. There is a chance of increasing its size. G2 size is 2 minterms as a group. G3 size is 2 minterms. But we have a chance to increase its size by combining G2 and G3 as single group. You can combine G2 and G3 as a single group. Okay, then you will get a new group with 4 minterms. But even though you are having the choice to increase the size of G2 and G3, you are not doing like that. So the G2 and G3 are called not prime implicates. Look at the definition once again. Group of maximum number of minterms which cannot be enlarged further. Here G2 and G3, we can increase its size by taking the help of other minterms. But in the case of G1, we can't increase its size. So G1 is a prime implicant. G2 and G3 are not prime implicants. G2 and G3 are not prime implicants. Okay. If you form a G4, then G4 is a prime implicant. G4 is a prime implicant. Because you can't increase its group size by any means. You can't increase its group size by any means. Okay. If you are unable to increase its group size by any means, that is a prime implicant. Okay. Next, essential prime implicant. Essential prime implicant nothing but a prime implicant. Okay, essential prime implicant nothing but a prime implicant. It is a prime implicant. But at least one minterm in the group should not be shared by other prime implicants. Should not be shared or covered by other prime implicants or groups. Okay, at least if you have at least one minterm in the group, it should not cover with other groups. Then it is a essential prime implicant. Now we will see with one example. Take 4 variable K-man. Okay. One. Okay. Here, if the minterms are like this, you can form one group like with these 4 minterms G1, and I'm forming one group with these 2 minterms G2, one midterm, one group with these G3. Now, see here G1, we can't increase its size, and we are discussing about the essential prime implicant. Okay, this group of minterms, see these 3 minterms are not shared by any other group. Okay, group 1 having 3 minterms, these are not shared by any other group. So G1 is a essential prime implicant. Similarly, look for the G3. G3 having 2 minterms, but this minterm is not shared by any other group. So G3 also essential prime implicant. G1, G3 essential prime implicants. Okay. Next, look for the G2. G2 here having 2 minterms, but upper minterm is sharing with G3 group, lower minterm is sharing with G1 group. So G2 is not called essential prime implicant. It is a not essential prime implicant. If a group having at least one minterm which is not shared by other implicants, that is called essential prime implicant. That is called essential prime implicant. Okay, these are the 3 definitions. You remember this one for the mid examination. We will discuss this one in the coming classes when we discuss simplifying SOP form and simplifying POS form. These 3 definitions will be useful. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Implicant means single minterm. Prime implicant means group of minterms, but group of maximum number of minterms. Okay, by any means you can't increase its size. If you can't increase its size, then it is called a prime implicant. Next, essential prime implicant. Essential prime implicant nothing but a prime implicant, but in that group at least one, that should at least one minter should not be shared with other groups or other prime implicants. Okay, other prime implicants are groups, then it is a essential prime implicant. If you have any doubt, you can ask me more. Up to this point, you are having in the mid examination. Up to this point, you are having in the mid examination. Now, we will look for one example. ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉంటే అడగండి. ఓకే, simplify below function using K-map. Sigma two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. Okay. Now six, 7, he mentioned here W, X, Y, Z. Okay. Now here he mentioned W, X, Y, Z, so it is a 4 variable K-map and the expression is in standard SOP form. So you have to apply directly to the K-map, and wherever the midterms are 1, okay, wherever the midterms presented in those boxes, keep 1. Okay, if we are new to the K-map, you can write, okay, M0, M1, M2 like that. Otherwise, you can directly write 2. 2 means 0, 0, 1, 0. This is 1. 3, 0, 0.
Hello.
Chepamma.
Sir, but it's only 3 variable, na sir?
But here it mentioned now W, X, Y, Z. Even though if you solve with, okay, here he mentioned W, X, Y, Z. If we did not mention this W, X, Y, Z, you can solve this one with 3 variable K-map.
Okay, sir.
If you mention W, X, Y, Z, you have to use 4 variable. Otherwise, you have to go with the 3 variable. Okay. 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th midterm box. This is the 5th midterm box. This is 6. This is 7. Okay. Now try to form the groups. First, look for the maximum number of ones to form as a group. So this maximum number of 4 ones you can form as a group. This is J1. Next, 2 midterms are left alone, but you should not leave any midterm. So we can form these two as group because these two are side by side cells, vertically side by side cells. So these two are adjacent. Vertically side by side cells are adjacent. So these two cells are adjacent. You can form one group with these two. But we need to look for bigger group. If there is a possibility, look for the bigger group. If you take the help of these 2 midterms in the group 1, you can form a bigger group as 4 midterms as a group. So you take the help of other 2 midterms in the group 1 and you can form it as a G2. Now tell me G1, G2 are Okay, G1, G2. Final expression is f is equal to G1 plus G2. So writing the G1 expression, how to write? This is the G1 group. Wx value is 0, 1. Yz value is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Now look, W value and X value, these are constant, and W value is 0, X value is 1. W value 0 means you have to indicate it with complement, X value 1 means X. And Y value, look, 0 to 0, 0 to 1. So it is changing. So you should not take Y value. Z value 0 to 1. It is also changing. So you should not take Z value. Okay. W and X values are constant. Whichever the constant values, we have to take them. W is 0, X is 1. Next, like this, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Yz value is 1, 1, 1, 0. XY value is 0, 0, 0, 1. Now look X value along the group. 0 to 1 changing. 0 to 1 changing. You should not take. Next. Okay, sorry, Amma.